Hello guys, welcome back to the Shoegaze in 93 channel, the channel that celebrates itself without any shame at all. And today, or rather, well yesterday, it was the release of a new, old Chapterhouse song, if that makes any sense. Let me explain. So recently, after the Chapterhouse released a box set of what they thought was the whole discography, on the box set called Chronology. It's Chronology, isn't it? Yeah, the Chronology box set, which I bought in 2023. It was found out by Christian from Slowdive. Sort of reminded the band that they actually had some unreleased demos from 1989 laying about. And they managed to find them, and these were called the White House sessions, recorded in Weston-super-Mare, which is where Christian is based. And it's really, it's really good. It was brought to the band's attention, and now they've decided to release it on vinyl. It's coming in May. The full I think it's only 4 tracks. It's with two of the tracks actually being on Whirlpool. You got Guilt, an early version of Guilt, which is probably different to what it is on Whirlpool, given the production values on Whirlpool are much more of the dreamy kind. But having said that, Guilt is one of the more heavier ones, the Sonic Youth inspired ones on there. And they released a new track yesterday on Sonic Cathedral. So Sonic Cathedral are releasing this whole thing, and the full thing's coming in May, but they released a song yesterday. Hold on a minute, got a bit of concentrating to do with the traffic here. So I think, what's it called again? Can't remember the name of the track off the top of my head now, but you find it on Sonic Cathedral. It's basically like the whole acid rock roots that they began with. You think of tracks like Satin Safe, Die Die Die, which is actually going to be on this, I think it is on this full track demo. You think about those tracks that we have heard, Satin Safe, what would be another one? Trying to think. Rain, songs like that. Rain, the Beatles cover. It's much more punky, so don't expect any like Robin Guthrie or Ralph Jezzard kind of production. Speaking about Ralph Jezzard, rest in peace, man. I just discovered it was like early March. They revealed the news that actually Ralph Jezzard, the guy who actually mixed most of the tracks on Whirlpool, he passed away. I'm not sure what the reason was, but that was a big loss, a real tragedy. We lost Graham Naismith last year, and now we lost like another sort of key individual really in this kind of music. So recorded at Weston-super-Mare. I think it's Guilt, and I think an alternative version of Satin Safe as well. And then you got the track that they just released yesterday. But it is like I said, it's like the acid rock roots. They were touring with Spacemen 3, so it's totally like Jason Pierce's kind of thing. And Loop reminds me a lot of Loop, Gilded Eternity band. the band who brought you like Afterglow and Sonic Arc Light, A Gilded Eternity, the famous album. But it's also like Sonic Youth as well, obviously. The Telescopes as well reminds me of Taste, the debut album, which was 1989 as well. The Telescopes, Taste. So if you're really into that, the kind of punky, the punky riff-orientated rock roots of shoegaze, if you're into that side of things, the whole psychedelic rock, quite grungy, quite, dirty, noisy, then yeah, this is for you. But there's certainly not going to be any like reverse reverb glide guitar, or there's not going to be like fairy dust sounding flanges and chorus and sparkly delay. But yeah, this is well worth getting for any shoegaze fan or any Chapterhouse fan, and we can only hold our fingers crossed for a Chapterhouse reunion, which has always been kind of talked about, but with all the Chronology, the release of Chronology and stuff, that they've been heavily promoting that for the last 2 years. This makes you wonder when they're gonna make the move to actually reform again, because like I said before, and I've said many times, 2010 just wasn't enough. When they reformed in 2009, 10, they were around in 2008 as well, for a little bit, because I think they played with Ulrich Schnauz. So that was like 2008, the Truck Festival in Oxford. That was when they came back. But yeah, that just wasn't enough, really. They only did like I don't know, 3 shows in the UK, and then another 2 in the US and 1 in Japan or something. And then they disbanded again, and they became like music teachers and that. I think Stephen Patman moved down to Truro. I think he's like one of the professors at like the music college in Truro, and yeah, they all did like sort of teaching things and stuff. And Simon Rowe, I think, went on to play with. Well, he was in Mojave 3, wasn't he, with Neil and Rachel from Slowdive. That's what Simon Rowe did. He was part of that for a while. But yeah, I mean, Russell Barrett as well. It'd be interesting to know if he's going to enter the fray, because he wasn't there for the reunion in the late 2010s, late 2000s. I mean, he wasn't part of that. They got another backup bassist in. But yes, May the 11th, there is a signing. Not sure whether it's a whole band or not, but obviously you expect Sheriff and Patman to be there. Maybe Simon Rowe. But yeah, definitely Stephen Patman and Andrew Sheriff. But they're doing a signing, Rough Trade East. So London. Unfortunately, I mean, it would be a struggle for me anyway, even if I was in England at the time. It would be a struggle to get there for me, especially being a weekend as well, where I got work. But I'm in Berlin around that time, between the 8th and 12th, for the Super Booth. The Super Booth synthesizer and outboard gear festival, the trade show, the trade fair thing. And yeah, so I won't be in England anyway for it, so I couldn't go even if I tried. Yeah, which is a shame, because I really want to speak to the Chapterhouse guys. I have invited them on for interviews before, but just to no avail, really. They don't really seem to want to do it. But yeah, maybe now that they're kind of back in the spotlight a bit with Chronology and this new release of the demos, maybe I will get them on. Maybe they will actually reform, because they're getting a lot of requests for reforming now on the comments of these things. So yeah, enjoy the Chapterhouse 1989, the White House demos. Yeah, it'd be really interesting. You get to hear the early roots of their sound, and they show that they were a lot more riff rock orientated to begin with. So there you go, guys. I'll see you soon. Not sure what's coming up. Oh yeah, we got Gene video, with John Boswell, coming at midnight tonight. It premieres at midnight, so make sure you catch that one. And see you again. Cheers.